Have you ever woken up to a storm raging inside your head? The kind where doubts crash like thunder, fears flash like lightning, and the weight of the world presses down on your chest before you've even thrown off the covers? Picture this. You're staring at the ceiling, heart pounding, as thoughts of unpaid bills, looming deadlines, and unspoken regrets swirl around you. The day hasn't started, but you're already in battle, against yourself, against the invisible forces that seem hell-bent on dragging you under. And yet, you drag yourself out of bed, plaster on a smile, and push forward, pretending everything's fine. But deep down, you know it's not. You're exhausted from the fight, from being reactive, from letting life happen to you instead of shaping it. Most of us live like this, trapped in a cycle of overwhelm, where fear whispers our choices, doubt steers our steps, and circumstances dictate our destiny. We surrender our power to the chaos around us, a critical boss, a toxic relationship, or that nagging voice in our heads that says we're not enough. We dream of breaking free, but the chains feel unbreakable. But what if I told you there's a way out? A mindset forged in the fires of true adversity, one that turns you into an unshakable force. Imagine walking into any room, facing any challenge, with an aura so commanding that doubt itself cowers. People sense it, the quiet strength, the unyielding resolve. It's not arrogance, it's mastery. It's the kind of presence that inspires awe and demands respect. Today, we're not just talking about survival. We're diving into the heart of transformation, guided by a man who turned his life into a blueprint for unbreakable mental toughness. Miyamoto Musashi, a name that echoes through centuries, not as a relic of the past, but as a living testament to what happens when you conquer the deadliest enemy, yourself. If you're here, watching this, it's because something inside you is stirring. You crave more than mediocrity. You want the discipline to rise above the noise, the purpose to cut through the fog, and the strength to face life's duels without flinching. That's exactly what Musashi's legacy offers. Let's uncover it together, step by step, and build that monster mindset within you. Miyamoto Musashi wasn't born a legend, he was forged in the crucible of a brutal era. Picture feudal Japan in the late 16th and early 17th centuries, a land scarred by endless wars where samurai clans clashed in blood-soaked fields, and survival depended on the sharpness of your blade and the steel of your will. Villages burned, families were torn apart, and death was a constant companion. Into this chaos, around 1584, Musashi entered the world, likely in the province of Harima, though the exact details are shrouded in the mists of time. Orphaned young, or at least estranged from his family, he grew up in a world that offered no mercy. By age 13, he wasn't playing games or dreaming childish dreams. He was stepping into his first duel, facing a seasoned warrior named Arima Kihei. The air thick with tension, the crowd murmuring in disbelief at this boy's audacity. Musashi, armed with nothing but a wooden bakken and raw determination, struck true. He won, not by luck, but by channeling a ferocity that belied his years. That victory wasn't the end. It was the spark. Musashi embarked on a Musha Shugyo, a warrior's pilgrimage, wandering Japan, seeking out the strongest opponents to test his limits. He fought over 60 duels, emerging undefeated each time. But here's the truth that sets him apart. Musashi wasn't invincible because of brute force or superior technique alone. No, he understood a profound secret, that the real battlefield is the mind. While other samurai honed their katana strikes in dojos, obsessing over form and tradition, Musashi delved deeper. He meditated under waterfalls, endured grueling solitude in mountains, and reflected on every encounter. He realized that physical prowess was fleeting. Mental fortitude was eternal. Think of his most famous duel against Sasaki Kojiro on Ganryu Island in 1612. The sea waves crashing against the rocks, the salty air heavy with anticipation. Kojiro, a master of the long Nodachi sword, arrived early, pacing with impatience. Musashi? He arrived late, deliberately. Not out of disrespect, but strategy. He had carved his oar into a makeshift weapon during the boat ride, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. As they faced off, Kojiro's frustration boiled over, his strikes wild and predictable. Musashi, calm as the eye of a storm, read every twitch, every breath. With a single, precise blow, it was over. Kojiro lay defeated, not just by the strike, but by Musashi's mental dominance. He had won before the swords clashed, but Musashi was more than a duelist. He evolved into a Renaissance man, a strategist who advised lords, a philosopher who penned the Book of Five Rings, Gorin no Sho, near the end of his life in 1645, and an artist whose ink paintings captured the essence of nature's flow. In his book, he didn't just detail swordplay. He unveiled universal principles for life, war, and self-mastery. Water, earth, fire, wind, and void, the five rings symbolizing adaptability and harmony. His Niten Ichiryu style, wielding two swords, broke conventions, proving innovation trumps rigidity. Opponents often forfeited upon hearing his name, intimidated not by his blade, but by the legend of his unbreakable spirit. Modern science echoes what Musashi intuited. Dr. Angela Duckworth, a psychologist at the University of Pennsylvania, describes grit as passion and perseverance for long-term goals, traits Musashi embodied. Harvard's Dr. Daniel Goleman speaks of emotional intelligence, the ability to manage one's emotions under pressure, which Musashi mastered centuries ago. Neuroimaging studies from Stanford show that consistent mental training reshapes the brain's amygdala and prefrontal cortex, enhancing stress regulation. Musashi didn't have MRIs, but he knew. The mind is a muscle. Train it, and it grows unbreakable. So what is this monster mindset Musashi forged? It's not the roar of aggression or the snarl of brutality. It's the quiet storm, the unshakable core that stands firm when the world crumbles. It's discipline that outlasts motivation, focus that pierces distractions, and resolve that turns chaos into opportunity. Recall a time when life hit you hard, a job loss that left you reeling, a betrayal that shattered your trust, or a health scare that exposed your fragility. Did you crumble, lashing out in panic or retreating into numbness? Or did you pause, breathe, and ask, what is this teaching me? Musashi lived this. He didn't curse the wars that defined his youth. He embraced them as forges for his soul. Adversity wasn't a curse. It was his greatest ally. In his writings, he urged, do not regret what you have done. Every scar, every loss, was a lesson etched into his being. This mindset flips the script on suffering. Pain becomes fuel, not fire. Discomfort? A signal for growth. Fear? A compass pointing to what matters most. But here's the raw truth most shy away from. Your true enemies aren't out there. They're within. Fear that paralyzes, weakness that whispers surrender. Musashi didn't avoid them. He confronted them daily. In the silence of his retreats, he battled self-doubt, honing his mind like his sword. When you adopt this, life changes. In a heated boardroom debate, You don't explode. You strategize. Amid family turmoil, you don't withdraw. You connect with empathy. In your inner wars, you don't flee. You advance with courage. Imagine the shift. People notice. There's something about you, they say, unable to pinpoint it. It's the monster, not the one that terrifies, but the one that endures. Research from Stanford's Carol Dweck on growth mindsets confirms it. Those who view challenges as opportunities rewire their brains for resilience. Gray matter thickens in areas of emotional control. Stress hormones like cortisol drop. Musashi's era had no labs, but his life proved it. You can become unbreakable. Now, let's break down the pillars of this mindset, drawn from Musashi's principles, infused with stories and applications to make them breathe. These aren't abstract ideals. They're weapons for your daily arsenal. Chapter 1. The Way is in Training. Dawn breaks over a misty mountain. Musashi, in his prime, stands alone, sword in hand. The air chills his skin, but he doesn't flinch. He swings once, twice, 1,000 times, not for glory, but for mastery. Each repetition isn't drudgery, it's devotion. The way is in training, he wrote. Mastery isn't a destination, it's the path of endless refinement. We mistake training for spectacle, the gym highs, the breakthrough seminars. But Musashi knew, it's the mundane that molds giants. The quiet mornings when motivation wanes, yet you rise. The repetitions when boredom bites, yet you persist. In today's world, this means treating your routine as sacred ground. That early jog isn't just exercise, it's proof you command your body. That focused hour of skill building isn't optional, it's your edge. Consider Alex, a mid-level manager I know. Overwhelmed by deadlines, he once crumbled under pressure. Inspired by Musashi, he started small. Daily journaling intentions, consistent skill drills. No fanfare, just consistency. Months later, promotions followed. Why? He showed up when others faltered. UCLA's sports psychologist Dr. Jim Afremow notes elite athletes thrive on deliberate practice, focused, feedback-driven repetition, regardless of mood. Talent sparks, consistency sustains. Apply it, skip a day, and inertia creeps in. Show up, and you forge chains of habit. Every push-up, every page read, every mistake corrected builds the you of tomorrow. Don't chase inspiration. Cultivate discipline. As Musashi swung through fatigue, so can you, turning ordinary days into extraordinary growth. Chapter 2. Understand damage and benefit in all things. In the heat of battle, Musashi pauses. His opponent lunges, but he sidesteps, assessing, what does this strike cost? What does it gain? Victory isn't blind, it's calculated. Understand the damage and benefit in all things, he advised. Every choice has ripples, short-term ease versus long-term strength. We falter here, chasing dopamine hits, scrolling endlessly, indulging in comfort foods, clinging to draining relationships. Feels good now, erodes later. Musashi played life like Go, strategic, foresightful. Sometimes, he yielded ground to claim the field. A tactical retreat wasn't defeat, it was wisdom. Picture Sarah, entangled in a toxic job. The pay was decent, but the stress poisoned her spirit. Applying this, she weighed, stay and erode, or leap and rebuild. She chose the latter, enduring short pain for lasting freedom. Now, thriving in a new role, she embodies it. MIT's behavioral economist Dan Ariely studies this. Successful people conduct implicit cost-benefit analyses daily, from habits to alliances. They prune what harms, nurture what helps. In your life, before that impulse buy, ask, does this empower or ensnare? That argument, Does winning it lose the bond? Distractions like social media? They steal focus, erode resilience. Choose with eyes wide open. Strategy isn't cold, it's empowering. It turns victims into victors, reactions into responses. Chapter 3. Perceive what cannot be seen. Twilight envelops a dual sight. Musashi stands still, sensing the air's shift, his opponent's unease. No words needed. Intuition speaks. Perceive what cannot be seen. Not magic, but honed awareness. Reading energies, intentions, subtleties others ignore. This is practical super skill. Body language in meetings, unspoken tensions in conversations, gut feelings in decisions. Most autopilot through life, missing cues. Opportunities slip. Conflicts erupt. Musashi trained this through presence, meditating, observing nature's flows. Think of Tom, a negotiator. Blind to nuances, deals soured. Adopting this, he practiced mindfulness, noting micro-expressions, pausing to listen deeply. Wins multiplied. Oxford's cognitive scientist Dr. Hannah Critchlow explains, enhanced pattern recognition activates brain networks for prediction. You're not psychic, you're attuned. Cultivate it. In talks, sense when silence heals. In paths, pause when instinct warns. Read yourself too. Catch rising anger, redirect it. Patterns emerge, lies in averted eyes, opportunities in hesitant words. This edge, priceless in careers, loves, self-growth. Chapter 4. Adaptability. Winds howl as Musashi faces a new foe. His usual stance fails. He shifts. 2 swords now, rhythm altered. Victory follows. The same technique doesn't win all battles. Adapt or perish. In our flux-filled world, tech shifts, market crashes, personal upheavals, rigidity dooms. Musashi innovated, blending styles. Failures? Data for evolution. Recall Elena, an entrepreneur. Her startup stalled. She pivoted, reimagining products. Success bloomed. Wharton's organizational psychologist Adam Grant observes, resilient leaders recalibrate setbacks as intel, not indictments. Embrace it. Plan flops, redesign. Life changes, flow like water. Falling isn't failing. Stagnation is. Adaptability breeds unbreakable spirits. These principles aren't relics. They're lifelines for modern battles. But knowing them isn't enough. Embodiment is key. Knowledge unused is dust. Action ignites fire. In work, deadlines loom like enemies. Instead of panicking, analyze like Musashi. Strategize tasks, adapt plans, perceive team dynamics. Control your response. Preparation over perfection. Northwestern's management psychologist Dr. Gail Fairhurst found resilient workers boost productivity 31%, promotions 37%. Reliability under fire? Your superpower. In relationships, emotions clash like swords. Don't react, respond. Perceive needs beneath words. Respect craved, fears hidden. Know when to yield, when to stand. Apologize with strength, set boundaries with wisdom. True warriors uplift, not dominate. Conflicts resolve deeper, bonds strengthen. In personal growth, fear blocks new starts. That voice. Not ready. Musashi acted amid uncertainty, learning in motion. Turned terrors into training. Public speaking? Practice through dread. Risky idea? Launch, adapt. Yale's developmental psychologist Dr. Mark Brackett tracked. Challenge embracers report higher satisfaction, achievement over decades. To live this, craft a ritual, your daily forge. Morning, rise, pen intentions. Today, I conquer doubt. Concrete, committed. Action, one bold step. Workout pushing limits, reading sharpening mind, conversation bridging gaps. Intentional, present. Evening, reflect. Wins, lessons, adjustments. This builds grit, Per Duke's Habit expert Dr. Wendy Wood. Control surges, confidence soars. You needn't wield swords to be a warrior. Battles rage within. Win them with Musashi's wisdom. Discipline carves paths, strategy navigates, courage conquers. Forge your monster mindset. The mind you temper today wins tomorrow's wars. What battle claims you today? Comment below. If this stirred your spirit, like, subscribe, share, keep sharp, unbreakable. Until next.